We are living in third-person shooter heaven this year. There are 4 or 5 great titles coming very soon, and I want to talk about them, so let's go ahead and jump on in. World War Z comes out very soon on April 16th, and this game looks to be a lot of fun. I got my hands on the game at last year's E3, and it completely surprised me, from the visuals looking super impressive, basically like a AAA game, to the gameplay being non-stop action and adrenaline the whole time. What surprised me most about World War Z when I played it was the amount of polish put into the environments. Now, this isn't a story-driven game by any stretch, but it's nice to see an awesome level of attention to detail in the environments. But that's not really what this game is about. This game is about destroying hordes of zombies with your friends, and I'll be honest, I'll probably end up playing it alone, but I'm happy to say that you can play it alone, and it's still a ton of fun. This is the most enemies I've ever seen on screen. Yes, even more than Days Gone, a game that I'm going to be talking about in a few minutes. The developer told me that they're able to put 500 enemies on screen at once and not have any issues, which is absolutely insane. I definitely plan on putting out a review for this game, and I'm hoping that my review code comes in soon because I'm really looking forward to this, and I can't wait to tell you guys my thoughts on the full experience. But in short, if you loved Left 4 Dead, then you're definitely gonna love World War Z. Now, I mentioned before Days Gone, a pretty similar game in terms of gameplay when it comes to destroying hordes of zombies. However, these aren't technically zombies, these are called freakers, and apparently they're still human and they can still understand what's going on, but they can't control themselves. They pretty much turn into a whole different beast, but they're not actually undead. But let's be honest, they're basically zombies, and I'm ready to destroy hundreds of them. Quite literally the opposite of World War Z, Days Gone looks to be a very narrative-driven experience, and that is really exciting because I trust Sony Bend. They gave us Uncharted Golden Abyss. I'm really excited for the future of this studio. I hope this game does really well, and I hope it surprises Sony, because I fear for studios nowadays. Like, nowadays when a game launches and does terribly, you know that the developer is in danger of being closed down, and I really don't want that to happen to Sony Bend, because this game looks really cool. Now, it's getting a lot of criticisms for not doing anything new or different, but in my opinion, I've never seen gameplay like this before. You're running from zombies, using the environments to take them down in all types of different ways. The AI can act differently, so you never really know what to expect, and on top of that, it looks like we're getting a very narrative-heavy experience, which when it comes to most Sony first-party games, they nail it. So I think this game is going to do the same thing, and I cannot wait to check it out later this month on the 26th. That's right, these two horde zombie games are coming out 10 days apart, April 16th, April 26th. I'm very excited for both of them. Now, next up, I wanted to talk about a game that you might have missed. This game is called The Sinking City. Don't expect any high action in this game because it looks to be mostly a story-driven, narrative-driven experience, but along with that, there are going to be moments of third-person shooting combat. Now, from the gameplay trailers I've looked at, they haven't shown much of the gunplay, so that does worry me a little bit, but everything else surrounding that looks to be pretty awesome. The game takes place in the US in the 1920s, and you play as a war veteran who's actually going insane and also trying to solve some type of mystery of some sort. Plus, he's trying to find like a cure for his insanity or something like that. I don't really know, but I think it looks really interesting. It looks like there's going to be a lot of psychological horror stuff implemented. One thing I took away from the gameplay trailer that I watched, though, was his ability to analyze a certain area, sort of like Batman, and finds out what went on there, and you basically try and uncover a bunch of mysteries. Honestly, it might sound a little strange, but I'm getting very heavy The Wolf Among Us vibes from this game, which makes me very excited. The Sinking City comes out June 27th of this year. All three of those games are very close, and this next one isn't too far off either, which is Control. Now, this is from the developer of Quantum Break and Alan Wake. Those were Xbox exclusives, but now the studio is no longer working for exclusive games for Xbox, and now they're going to be multi-platform, and they're finally returning to PlayStation. This is the same studio that did Max Payne and Max Payne 2, which all 4 of those games that they've done previously are really great, so I'm super excited for Control. I know Quantum Break had sort of a mixed reception, but I thought it was really awesome, had a great story and fun gameplay, and the gameplay of Control actually looks really similar to Quantum Break when it comes to implementing third-person shooting and a bunch of awesome telekinesis, Star Wars, Force-like powers. It's basically Uncharted and Infamous combined into one game, which of course has me on board. I'm really excited for this game. As I may or may not have mentioned before, Control comes out August 27th, so it is the furthest away out of these 4 games, but honestly, it's probably the one that I'm most excited for. I cannot wait to see what Remedy has up their sleeve. I'm really hoping to get my hands on the game later this year in June while I'm at E3, and I'll probably make a video or write up a preview if I get a chance to play the game. I've been sort of hands-off with Control. I don't really want to know much about it. I want to be surprised. Every now and then I do that for a couple games and movies where I don't watch much previews, I don't really read about about it at all, and that's what I'm going to do with this one, because I really think it's going to surprise people, and I want to be really surprised when I play it. So that's the 4 third-person shooters that I think are really exciting that are coming out this year, some of them very soon. Now, I know what you're thinking, what about The Last of Us Part 2? That game isn't confirmed for this year, so I didn't want to include it in the video, but if it does end up coming out this fall or this winter in 2019, that would be so awesome. But I'll probably make a whole separate video on The Last of Us 2 once we know more about it. But as of right now, that's all the third-person shooting games that I'm super excited about. Of course, Gears 5, but this is a PlayStation channel. I'm not going to talk about that, but it does look really awesome. But thanks a lot for watching, guys. Be sure to let me know what games you're excited about in the comment section down below, and I will talk to you guys later.